episode? Can you
Is
see?
Flyers X the most toxic place on earth?
The
answer is yes.
It's up there.
Violence is not the answer. It's the question. And the answer is yes.
You know what? I made a new topic graphic that I forgot to put in here.
Son of
that I made in 2 seconds, and it looks like I made it in 2 seconds. Hey, we got people piling in. This is the welcome to the HW pre-show, everyone. We're going to take some time to let you pile in before we get started. Maybe test out some new views here. Let's see if we can
see
get
that. There we go.
This up here. Share screen. Get our topic list up there. There it is. I probably should have done it in another color, but that looks fine.
Getting there. Huh?
Flyers XB drawing. Steven Rolf already. Yeah, it is. We're going to talk a lot about that. A lot to get to tonight. Yeah. Give us a few minutes, guys. It's 8:05 actually. So we'll start on time. Everybody's here. A lot to get to tonight. Obviously, the big Flyers Twitter fiasco, the Couturier Michkov whole ordeal we'll definitely touch on. It's going to be a lot. The bulk of our show, we're also going to talk about Trevor Zegras. The Flyers go 2-0-1 last week, and we'll take a look ahead at the Flyers games this coming week, so stick around. All right, you beauties, welcome to episode 17 of season 8. I'm your host, Jim Icavone, joined as always by Jack Smith. A lot to get to tonight. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, give us a like. We're going to try to hit, so we're going to start making goals for each YouTube episode that we do. And for this episode, we want to try to hit 50 likes by the end of the show. So if you're on Twitter, do us a favor, head on over to YouTube, give us a like, help us reach our goal, and we'll think of something cool to do. All right. Make sure you drop a comment and we'll do a giveaway. If you give us a like and let us know in the comments that you gave us a like, you enter yourself into the drawing for, I don't know what the prize is going to be. We have a lot of these HW hockey golf hats left over. Maybe we'll send out one of those. Who knows? Some autographed merch over here that just kind of sitting around. Could have your name on it. So do us a favor. If you're listening to us as a podcast, make sure to listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify or really anywhere you get your podcast. But those are the two preferred places. All right. You can see our topic rundown list here. Jack, a lot has happened and nothing at the same time since we've last talked. The Flyers obviously had a good week, so we want to talk about that for sure. We'll get to the actual stuff that happened. But let's start off with what happened in the last game. The Flyers lost in overtime to the Ottawa Senators, a game in which they fell behind 2-0, and they came back to tie it up at 2. Looked like they were going to win it for a while there. They outshot Ottawa, I think, by a lot. I think Ottawa finished with under 15 shots, if I recall correctly. Flyers didn't have too many of their own. Flyers take it to overtime where, you feel pretty confident about the Flyers these days. And even if they can stretch it to the shootout, even better. Unfortunately, Trevor Zegras was kind of caught in wanting to change or wanting not to change.
Non-committal. Non-committal.
Yeah, exactly.
What Tocchet said, yeah.
A little bit of hesitation there. And you could see if you hesitate for a second, bang, you're cooked. Yeah. So Flyers fall to the Ottawa Senators, and that gave them their only blemish for last week. But overall, 5 out of a possible 6 points. Pretty good. Flyers are 8-5-2, I believe, heading into tomorrow night's game. But where everything kind of starts here is there was a shift in the overtime where Couturier and Michkov are out at the same time. And, they're heading into the zone and, there's an offsides like, happens every so often during the course of an NHL game. What I saw on this play, Jack, was Matvei Michkov carrying the puck into the zone with some speed. Couturier beat him in. Happens a lot. Frustrating, right? Now, where things get a little weird was, and I didn't notice this during the game, so you tell me if you noticed it, but Couturier looked frustrated on the bench and happened to look over, and Michkov's direction at some point while the camera was on him. I didn't think anything of it. I saw Couturier that was frustrated that he blew the zone. And I would have never thought about it again, quite honestly. All right. So let's start with that, because I'm sure you saw that clip by now. What did you think? Jack, were you at the game, by the way?
I was, and I was very high up. So not that I
Okay.
was a press row or anything. So I didn't see that live.
Okay.
There's a lot I didn't see,
Sure.
So for me to have this conversation, I have to have it in reverse. So I'm going to do the best I can to do it the way that you're laying it out. But I'm going to.
You want me to get to the end then?
I'm going to let you go.
And like a what's it called? What's that movie called where you go to the back and then at the beginning? I don't remember the movie.
I think I know what you're talking about. Are
you going to go to the end and then meet me at some point?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's not Inception. It's like the one that came out after that. Yeah, it didn't really work. Yes, essentially, because I didn't see a lot of the things that were on TV. And then when I saw certain things on Twitter, they also were out of context and out of order. And that's part of the reason why I almost fell into the crazy storm that was, that shouldn't have been. But I was at the game. And just to go over the game real quick, yeah, I didn't know it was Star Wars, and I had no idea. I was taking my kid. That was phenomenal. They did a great job, But the first period was by far the worst first period I think I've seen them play all year. And it was like, seriously? Got all these kids here, Star Wars, and you're going to show them this hockey? Luckily, they started to turn things around. Michkov himself with a hell of a play. I don't want to say all by himself. Other players got assist on the play, but my God, did he make that goal happen, and everybody went crazy. And then a nice, I can't remember if it was a power play goal or not, but where Zegras throws the puck on net, I don't think it had much of a chance of going in, but it get a funny bounce, redirection, right out to Drysdale, boom, tie game, kind of steal a point where they were the better team in the second and third period. They just had such a bad first period that they had to kind of steal a point. And then, 3-on-3 in overtime is designed where anything can really happen, and things kind of went south, unfortunately, just for one play, and there you have it. Because I was looking at the clock, and it was like, I think it was like less than a minute and a half when that goal was scored. I was like, we go to a shootout. We got the Urson's, like the good shootout goalie. You got Zegras, you got Brink, you got Michkov, you got Konechny. I'm like, man, we might actually pull this off. And unfortunately, that's not what happened. But ultimately, like you said, just to wrap the first part of our checklist off, 2-on-1. All 3 games look good. You got points in all 3 games, almost a perfect week. And somehow we're talking drama here in Flyerland, which is phenomenal. But as far as seeing anybody's reaction or anything like that, as far as the game was concerned, I walked out of that game a little disappointment. I didn't think anybody was pissed with anybody. The not celebrating with Michkov on the goal, didn't really notice that. I'm not saying they were jumping for joy like it was a playoff overtime goal or anything, but nothing that made me go, oh, what's that about? I think that stuff kind of came around later when you're trying to support a different narrative. So, yeah, I left that game disappointed, but not thinking there was trouble in paradise, to say the least.
Yeah. And so let's talk more about the after the offsides. All right, let's come back to where shit really started hitting the fan here. So, they get that replay on, whatever the hell channel it is, NBC, whatever. How they retweet stuff on Twitter. I don't know what the hell. Like maybe people are just copying, what they're seeing and putting it out there. Like, oh, can you believe Couturier looked in his direction like that? Did you see that replay, Jack?
I did. And before we get into a quick disclaimer, because this got me, they're not showing you the clips in total at all times.
Well,
Keep that in mind, especially interviews. Keep that in mind. But yes,
so the
way I remember, and what the whole play was Michkov did something to force Couturier to go offside, and you're in overtime, and Coots kind of comes to the bench, and he kind of puts his head like this and kind of glances over, and it looked like Michkov just didn't. I don't know if he didn't want to or just kind of was like, yeah, I'm sorry about that, but not to the degree where I think there's like, here you go, government, your BS or hatred or whatever. It was just like, look, we're in overtime. We had a chance to win the game, and a slip up like that. Now we're on the bench, and the next guys are out there. When you look, that's how I look at it now. But from what other things happened, people went internet sleuthing and looked at that in an entirely different light. I don't want to jump the shark here, Jim, so you go ahead.
Yeah, so, that's the clip that was shared. Like I said, I didn't think anything of it. If you saw the clip, chat, if you saw the clip, and you thought that meant Couturier hates Michkov, let me know in the chat there. Let us know. I want to hear other opinions because there's a lot of other ones out there. And, I think for myself, because I think the human instinct is to first get angry, get upset, right? And so for me, I had to learn this because I was one of those guys. If something made me angry right away, I listened to my first thought and I was angry. But it's like, okay, wait a second here. That's before we do anything nuts, before we comment on anything nuts. What the hell? Why would he be angry? Well, he could be angry at himself, or maybe he is frustrated at Michkov. Doesn't mean he doesn't like him. All right. And so the next day, or I think maybe even after the game, a reporter, Kevin Kurz, asked Couturier a question about Michkov, and I would play the clip, but I'm not sure if we would get copyrighted for it. I'm sure all of you have seen the response from Couturier by now. I'm not sure if you've seen the question being asked, and I think you were alluding to that, Jack. We'll get to that. The response from Couturier without the question, you could absolutely take out of context, right? Like, I assume that it's coming from a good place, just knowing what I know about Couturier and Michkov. Michkov followed Couturier around like a puppy all last year. You could tell that he looks up to him. And even in that one clip on the bench, Jack, like you mentioned, Couturier looked over at him. And you know how, like, if you do something wrong and your dad gives you that look and you're like, oh, shit. That's kind of how Michkov looked, in my opinion. He was like, damn it. Like, I let him down kind of thing, or I goofed up. And if you're Couturier, it's like, damn, man, like, we had it. It wasn't like, I don't know. People,
no, I think that's where the disappointment
mean?
comes from. Yeah, and some people even don't think that it was Michkov's fault that Coots went offside, as Zach had said earlier, and that may very well be the case. I think Coots felt one way for sure. I don't even know if this is related at all. I think after the interviews came out, people went back and tried to make it connect, and that's not the only clip, because the goal celebration was another one. The lack of celebrating with Michkov was another way to try to say that these guys maybe aren't too keen on Michkov or whatnot. But just let me run it down my way, because it's the only way I'm going to be able to talk about this, because I'm sure I'm not the only person to have fallen into this. For me, the interview answer without the question was posted of Coots talking about Michkov, talking about playing the game the right way. Oh, he's very good at this. And it's like it's almost like because of his natural like demeanor and tone, it came off like he was kind of annoyed. He sounded like he wanted to, every time he said something of praise about Michkov and his game, it wanted to be followed up by a but. And he mentioned about playing the game the right way. There's other things he can be doing to help us out when he's not scoring goals. And as you know, he's not scoring a lot of goals right now. And I remember like seeing it completely out of context and it blowing up. And because it blew up, kind of just taking it at face value. And the first thing I thought was like, why is this coming out now? Why is he doing this to the media? Long story short, when I hear the question and then I hear where the question originated from through a Michkov interview and questions, and how he was critical of himself, and you get the whole context of hearing Michkov's question and answer interview, having that fed through Kevin Kurz to ask a question to Couturier, it is not half as bad as you think it was. And I think a lot of the content being cut out the way it was led to the firestorm on Twitter. One thing that irritated me was every time I saw a tweet that said, I agree with everything Couturier said. And it's like, yeah, we all do. Like, that's not what the issue was. The issue was that it was in public, that it was to the media. And a lot of you just don't, and having it in context now, it makes a whole lot more sense. If anything, it's complimentary about his game, or he's out after his slow start. I thought it was coming from just, I don't know what was asked about Michkov, but it was almost like throwing him under the bus in a sense. It didn't line up, though. It was like they're 2-0-1, like you just said. He scored 2 goals in the last 2 games. He seems to be coming out of his shell a little bit. That one goal put them back in the game on Saturday. So it didn't make any sense. and the internet sleuths, I kind of started to fall for it myself because I was trying to understand why it was being said and why now. And that's where the celebration of the goals or lack thereof and the offside and overtime. That's where that all of a sudden it started to make sense. It's he get the whole everything. So for me, it was like, yeah, had I seen that start to finish, it's a nothing burger. I know people don't like that phrase. It is nothing. And I almost fell for it. I did. I really did. I always take a day reflection to kind of like, and I'll talk to Jim on the side, be like, am I crazy here or am I missing something? Jim shot that down right away.
Well, dude, part of me was like, man, I hope Jack stays crazy for the show, but I'm like, this is nothing. But I mean, like,
I don't want to look like an a-hole though.
No, I know, but it's always good content when you get riled up. Like, I enjoy it. Everybody enjoys it, but, yeah, when I saw this coming out, I'm just going to be honest. I saw one account making the biggest deal about this, and my first question is why? Why are you doing that? Like, if it was something, okay. And even if it was, what is your goal in doing this? And no matter what, it's to get everybody riled up. That's the only reason. Because when I have a thought on something, my first instinct is not to go on to Twitter and retweet it 1,000 times. Like, that's not my first instinct. It's always, wow, that's interesting that he said that.
Also out of context too. That's why I'm kind of like,
yeah, I want to know who cut that.
I don't know.
Who cut the question out is what I'm curious about.
Yeah, and right? I fell for it too. I did. I usually don't do that. They're right on YouTube, half of those interviews. I try to watch what I can. I guess that internet one got, because it was sent to me. I didn't go looking for it. Somebody sent it to me.
Right.
And it was kind of like, oh, what's that about? And to be honest, the person who sent it to me was like, I don't understand what the problem is. And I was like, well, let me look at it. And I was like, well, wait, why is he saying that? Where's this coming from? And I should have did more digging at the time. Luckily, all he did was quote tweet it once. He just kind of like, oh, I wasn't expecting this today. And I kind of left it alone before I blew up, because I would have been walking back a lot of comments if that were the case. And I don't think there's anything here. I think they're already being reported as talking at practice. And,
yeah, they're fine. There was never an issue.
Yeah, I don't look. He may not be their best friend. There is a little bit of a language barrier. He's also newer to the team. He may not be hanging out with them every day and knowing their families, but I really don't think they dislike him, especially if he makes their team better. And we know he's going through it, so I don't think you're going to pile on.
So I have some thoughts. To that there.
Go ahead.
And we'll get to more of the Twitter stuff in a second. But if you watch I did an emergency episode because that's when shit was really starting to kick off Sunday night. I'm like, I gotta get on this, right? Because I'm like, you know what? This dude's gonna benefit from all these clicks and yada. I doubt he's getting paid off Twitter. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get in on this. Let me give my opinion. And so I'm being honest. Like, it's trending. What better time to get out and go live? So anyways, all right. So I laid out sort of his side versus Coots' side, or Michkov versus Coots' side. Michkov, honestly, I think is innocent in a lot of this. The only thing that he did wrong, was come in out of shape. That's his biggest sin, right? And that could be a cardinal sin, especially if you're a 20-year-old, right? So I laid it out like this. Imagine you're Sean Couturier, right? Imagine he was in Michkov's shoes at one point, being an 18-year-old in the NHL, played bottom 6 minutes for the longest time. I don't recall however many years now, but didn't really get the chance to get up in the top 6 for a while. So his offensive numbers in the beginning of his career are not good, right? And so, later on in his career, obviously he gets a back injury, has multiple back surgeries, multiple off seasons where he's not coming into the season healthy. He's got to bust his ass just to be able to play, and not even play well, just to be able to play, right? This season comes in healthy, new coach, Tortorella's gone. That's a monkey off of his back, yada, yada. Can go into the season with a clear head. And you have your 20-year-old phenom coming in fat, out of shape, slow, right? That would, if I was his teammate, that would piss me off. And I know it's hard for Flyers fans to focus on that because we love Michkov, and it's like, if we love him, he can do no wrong. So what? He came in out of shape. He'll get in shape as the season goes on. Well, what about every other guy that did what they were supposed to do over the summer and came into camp in shape? Do you know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
every day they're getting asked questions about Michkov, who they're already a little bit ticked off about, but they can't say anything negative because the media, not even the media today, people on Twitter, if he looks at Michkov wrong, because that's what happened, they're going to share a clip and it's going to go viral on Twitter that Couturier hates Michkov when Michkov's in the wrong, right? They have a right to be frustrated with
that. Is literally the expression. If you even look at him the wrong way.
That's what happened. They have a right to be frustrated. And so if a little bit came out, the captain did it. Is the captain not an extension of the coach? Don't we want our captains to be vocal? He didn't say anything that wasn't true, right? And the only reason that everyone got bent out of shape about this is because it wasn't Owen Tippett. It wasn't somebody that they didn't like. It was the golden boy.
I think it's more of the golden boy, but yes,
sure.
If
it was Tippett, if it was somebody else that they wanted traded, they would have been Cooch's number one fan.
I'll be honest with you. The only thing I'll say is I expect that from coaches when it's real, when it's legit, when the team is losing, not 8-5-2, when the team is losing, when the team's going through it, when they can't score, certain guys are not performing. Like that's when I expect the coach to like come out publicly and say it.
But he wasn't when it comes to in like a massive negative way. He was like, he's getting better. He's working on things.
I don't think at the end of it, he wasn't saying anything really truly bad at all. Right. He was the way the question was asked, it was nothing. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that at first. I thought it was kind of like he was unleashing the way it was cut. I thought he was just kind of going, almost like they said, Michkov, go. And he just kind of started tearing into him, which is not the case at all. Mm-hmm. You typically, it should at least be handled in the locker room first before you even consider the media. And even then, I can't think of too many times a captain has come out to the media and said negative stuff. Like, dude, Pronger got on Giroux back in the day, but we didn't find that out till years later because it was in the locker room. You know, what happened in the locker room stays in the locker room. That's why this was so jaw-dropping at first, but it was taken out of context, and it was actually more praising and understanding than it was attacking. And I think that just how it was cut to everybody, it was like a CNN thing. Like they just kind of played it in a way and cut out what they had to make it look pretty bad, and it worked for at least for a while.
Yeah. And we have Dan comments in the chat. Nobody should be taking shots. I didn't see it as taking shots.
I think the first cut made it look that way, but internet sleuthing the other way, instead of trying to prove it, trying to disprove it, and seeing what Michkov had said about himself in the same locker room.
What was the interview. Shot? What was the shot? I'm curious.
Probably the cheating for offense. He needs to be doing stuff when he's not scoring goals. But when you see it in context with what Michkov said about himself and his slow start to the season, it's not a shot.
But what if we looked at it? And I know that Couturier is not Michkov's dad, right? But he's somebody that Michkov looks up to. It sounds like they spend a fair amount of time together. You know, and also it sounds like Couturier is pretty genuine, pretty honest, pretty blunt when he talks to people. If we know that about the guy, can we accept what he said as, you know, not airing out dirty laundry? Because we all know that Michkov cheats. If you're an honest person and not just a Michkov fan, you can say this guy cheats. He doesn't play defense the way the other guys do. And then you have people that want to say, well, he doesn't need to. We just need him to score goals. That's fine. But I'm telling you where the players are coming from. Not every player is okay with that.
Nor should they be. But, you know, a lot of really talented players tend to cheat a little bit too. It's just the nature of the beast. I'm trying to think of a time where a captain or a player at all has publicly called out one of his teammates. Can you think of anything like that off the top of your head? Because coaches do it. Tortorella is known for doing it every other week. But a player in the locker room Like, I mean,
I don't see it as calling Michkov out. Do you?
I don't think it happened. I think it was we were led to believe that based on how the video was cut, which is why it blew up like it did as fast as it did, because it was disingenuously shown to us.
Yeah, that was something. Yeah, and so for me, it comes back to why. Why is this happening the way it is? Because if we take the video for face value, it's really not that bad. But why is it being what's the word I'm looking for? When somebody makes a big deal,
Like glorified.
Yeah, I can't think of the word, catastrophized or something like that.
Oh, masturbate. I can't say it. Exacerbates.
Something like that. Yeah.
I swear that's it. I'm just saying it wrong.
Yeah. It'll come to me, I'm sure, when it doesn't matter. But
Damn alcohol.
yeah, it's they wanted it to be a bigger deal than it was. So my question's why? Right? My first answer in my head is
there we go.
The first response in my head is they don't like whoever's doing this has a problem with Sean Couturier.
Could be.
Right.
Could be.
And that's to me, that's what it turned out to be. People are sick of Coots, right? It doesn't produce like he used to produce, which is fair to say because it's true. Slower than he's been in the past, and he was pretty slow before double back surgeries. And then he's got that long contract, right? So you have a lot of reasons to not like him.
Yeah.
But it's not a reason to do this. Like, what was the goal? The Flyers are going to trade him because you don't like Sean Couturier?
Which is just, it's not possible. Even buying him out does nothing for you.
And then it also comes back. So it was a double hit. It was perfect chance to jump on Couturier. And number two, Coots maybe had a problem with Matvei Michkov, who's the savior of the franchise. You know, the savior that came in out of shape. That might not hit 25 goals this year. You know? So I get it, but it's not right. Doesn't make it fair. Doesn't make it true what you're doing. You know? So it irked me a little bit because I would have rather people just come out and said, I'm doing this because I don't like Sean Couturier. And then nobody would have had to go back and watch these stupid clips like everybody did. Whoever put these clips out probably made a couple bucks on Twitter because people went back and watched them a million times.
But just think of it this way. How often do interviews after a game or practice blow up this quickly that like major outlets are addressing them? Like that tells you right there that's BS.
Well, everybody figured out that, hey, I could get a couple clicks off of this.
Well, it only goes to back that theory up because come on, like this doesn't happen. Captains, players, they don't call out their teammates like this because they didn't. That's why it blew up and everybody trying to explain it. And well, I know there's a conspiracy theory against a lot of the beat writers right now that they got the word from up top to make this blow over. And I think that's wild. No, I think the evidence backs up that it's not half as bad as it, or bad at all, really, as you think when you put all the pieces together. Dan, thank you. I thought somebody might pick that up. So yeah, I definitely said something along those lines.
Sensationalized was the word I was looking for.
Oh, that's a good one. Damn, Here I am saying things that are, rated X.
Yeah, sensationalized is when something that's not that big of a deal and you make a massive big deal about it, like you're excited. That's what was happening. It was sensationalized. I was
saying to make things worse is what I was saying, but that's not what you're looking for. I apologize, Joe.
I knew it was going to come in just randomly. That's
well, that does not seem to happen.
All right. So the Coots and Michkov thing, nothing there. Right. And then today we're told
they're
playing on the same line, same power play line.
After I think at first there were, the clip came out and there was a lot of trying to prove it right. But after a day and a half passed and the trying to prove it wrong, disprove it, I think that has won out. And there's something that always stuck with me from the start is why now? It doesn't make sense. And captains, players, they don't do this to the media. They really don't. Because the other thing is like the Canadian fans took off with it. It's like, oh, now we're going to listen to these morons now. Like, here we go. Now, the hell, everything we said about Michkov is right. We still should have drafted him, but he's right. He's a horrible teammate. It's like, oh, God, now you got everybody going. Now everybody's going. Like, and it's just look, plenty of content for us. I can't complain too much, but when I look back as a fan, it's like, here we go again. Another day.
I love it, man. Keep it up. Yeah.
Better than As the World Turns. And
Flyers were off for 4 days. I don't know. There was going to be nothing to talk about for today except for two wins.
But the thing that truly blew my mind was, I agree with what Cooch said. It's like, oh, geez, you're a 2 car length behind. Just please with those.
But you don't?
I do. But everybody knew that. It wasn't about that. It was about it being said publicly.
Got you.
That's why I'm just like, come on. Now we got to explain this now. Like, it was just another layer to it. It's like, you don't even, like, come on. It's not what we're discussing here. It's like, it just makes the whole conversation take longer. And it irritated me. It really did. It's like, really? That's where you're at after this? That's what you came in with? That was your takeaway? Not him saying it publicly? That was your takeaway? No.
That didn't bother me.
Players don't do that, Jim. I'm telling you. Give me another time a player called out a teammate to the media.
I don't think he called him out.
Not that you have every.
He
was not that you have everything.
He was asked specifically a question about him.
No, but it was in reference to something Michkov had said about himself. He was down on himself for his slow start. It turns the entire thing Cooch said around.
For his slow start and scoring goals.
And just in general, his play in general. And that's why he was saying, look.
Well, he had scored a goal. So they asked him, how do you think this gets him going? Because he's been off to a slow start.
That was asked after he finished that. That was asked by Anthony Sanfilippo after he allegedly ripped Michkov. It was more so about his slow play and how he was down on himself.
Yeah.
And that question came later. It was right after. But as far as like what Cooch said is taken out of context about playing the right way, things like that. It made it sound like it was, I don't know what could have been asked, but it made it sound like, no, he needs to play the right way. He needs to stop trying to score goals. He needs to do this and do that. That's not really what Cooch was saying in context of how the question was asked, why it was asked, and where the quotes from that question came from.
Which comes back to perception.
Yes, absolutely. Because coaches do that. Torts does it all day. Maybe that's where we're kind of like used to it a bit. But players do not do that. Captains don't do that. Not publicly.
What he said, though.
Because we're used to that. We're used to it. But I'm telling you, players do not do that to the media.
I mean, I've been watching the team as long as anybody else. I didn't see there was anything wrong with what he said, though.
Look, it's not what he actually said. There was nothing wrong. And my thing was in the context it was given, where it looked like he was just ripping him. Players do not do that to the media.
But it didn't look like he was ripping him.
Not now that we know where it came from, how the whole perception of what he said.
But that's all that matters. That's all that matters, though.
Right. That's why it blew up.
I'm not following.
The whole reason why it blew up is because it looked like
because somebody was dishonest on social media.
Yes, because it looked like Coots took an unprovoked attack against Michkov for no reason, where it's like, no, that's not what happened.
But in actuality, he didn't do anything wrong.
Michkov said this about him. And all I'm saying is what he said in the bubble of what it was. No, that would never happen. But in the grand scheme of it all, it makes perfect sense. If anything, it's the whole tone of it is different. Yeah. At first, it came off inflammatory. It came off an attack, like an unprovoked attack.
Right.
Now that you know where it all stemmed from, it actually is more praising than it is. And he's like, look, he needs to understand, and he is, that you need to do this, this, and that when this is not happening for you. And that's not how it came off when everything was cut out.
Right.
And that a player, I cannot think when another player has done anything like coach, sure. But player, when, where, never. Maybe Prager threw some shade once, but that's about it.
I didn't see anything wrong. Share one. All I see is quit playing dumb because my contacts are blurry. I can't see. Quit
playing dumb, Jim.
Share the Johnny Pelican comment.
There you go. Quit playing dumb, Jim. If Coots didn't say anything wrong, he still outed a teammate to the media. I mean, it is kind of what I'm saying. You don't do that.
Well, what did he out him about?
Okay, so are we asking about what we thought he did originally, or what's actually true?
Well, what's actually true? I don't care.
I don't think he was really outed. I don't think he was really outed right now.
Okay.
Now that we know the context.
What are we talking about?
Now that we know the context of everything and where the question came from, it does turn the entire narrative of what we were perceived to have seen. Now, at the time, it didn't seem like that way at all. It seemed like it said, all right, thoughts on Michkov, go. And he just kind of ripped into him. That's not at all what happened. It's night and day different from reality.
Right.
That's
so
what
are we
I'm
talking
saying.
about?
God damn it, Jim. Yeah, this is why I drink. This
No,
is why
I'm not, what are we arguing
I
about?
drink.
I think we agree.
I don't think we're arguing. I'm just trying to explain it to you.
All right, so we agree.
You're trying to make me say I agree with you and that you were right.
No, that he didn't call anybody out or
Now
throw anybody under the bus.
So my point, maybe you're confused what I was saying earlier. So when we didn't know, we didn't have all the other information or whatever, or people were misled. People were saying, "Oh, I have no problem with what he said." In the realm or the what do you call that? The microscope of destroying him, like to the media. Like it's like, look, at the end of the day, I agree. He does need to do more things away from the puck. He does need to get back defensively. He does need to be more of a team player. But you don't say it to media. That's our issue. You don't say it to the media. And it turns out it wasn't that bad. So it's all kind of irrelevant. It doesn't matter because of the scope of where the question and criticism, quote unquote, came from. So I was like, why are you worried about what he said? We all can agree on what Mishkov needs to do to be a better player. The point is, you don't say it in an inflammatory way to the media. But it turns out he did not say it in an inflammatory way.
Right. Okay. That's
okay. You get it? You get it now?
Well, that's how I was getting confused. Because it never was inflammatory.
Right.
It was only
Correct.
inflammatory in the bullshit clip that somebody shared.
Correct. We got it.
Then,
We're there.
So
we got it.
The other thing for me was, if it was such a big deal, don't you think the media would have been writing stories about it? Like, oh man, this is big stuff.
Well, technically they are, but not in the way you would think.
Well, now, yeah, because somebody made a huge deal about it on Twitter.
Well, don't you know
that has an agenda?
There's a conspiracy that all the beat writers have to settle the storm now. The word has been set out from the top. You didn't see that now? I think it's all,
No, they all realize that they can make money off of this.
Yeah. Well,
they don't work for the Flyers.
They all came
They're
out.
all independent companies.
They all came out and kind of were like, in my opinion, because there really is no fire here, but some people are saying it's all bullshit. I'm not one of those people.
Like I said, the Flyers are off for 3 days, so you gave them something to write about.
True. Yeah. I'll tell you, man, it's better than General Hospital around here. Always something to do. Always something to talk about.
How long have I been saying it? This is the best reality TV show out there. This is
my soap opera. This is better than wrestling to me, at least nowadays. I grew up in the Attitude Era, so don't kill me. But this is my soap opera, and it's great. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's always something. And it's been, we've been doing this for 8 years. They've made the playoffs once, and that was the bubble year. But there's always somehow something to talk about. So, all right, let's see where we are on our topics list here. Dude, my contacts are blurry as shit. I can't see anything.
Flyers X. So that goes in with what we just talked about, right?
Yeah, we kind of talked about that a lot. We're almost 40 minutes in. Why don't we look ahead and talk about the team a little bit here?
Looking ahead, baby.
Yeah, so tomorrow night, the Flyers have the Edmonton Oilers.
That could be tough.
And Connor McDavid, who I think just got their doors blown off.
Didn't
he? The Colorado Avalanche.
But didn't I don't know how old the clips are, but didn't McDavid freak out against Columbus or something? Yeah, who was that?
Have, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to. What's today? It's Tuesday.
5-4 they won. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the most recent one, I believe. You know what? Yeah, final on OT. See our old buddy Provorov, effing loser. This could be a tough game just because it's one of the premier teams. Typically, beginning of the season, they're don't tend to be. Oh, well, there you go. There's your answer right there. The Avs did blow their doors off, but they came back.
Yeah, 9-1.
But it felt like that win against Columbus, who's a much lesser team than Colorado, was all. I won't say all McDavid. It was 5-4, but a lot McDavid. Yeah, I'm trying to see where they're at in the standings. They are typically, let's see, they are lower than us in the standings. In 17 games played, they are 7-6-4. Oh my goodness!
That was Colorado to Edmonton.
I looked up. I didn't expect to see that. But just know they're dangerous. I hope Vladar is starting this game, which he will be. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I wouldn't surprise me if they lost that game. That is tomorrow, and then back-to-back Blues and Stars. Both games are away. Blues have been one of the worst teams in the league so far this year. Binnington can't seem to stop a puck, so I do expect them to win that game. The second to the last team, with the very last place team being the Calgary Frost and Farabees. So yeah, I expect them. I don't know what's going to happen in Edmonton. I'm thinking maybe an overtime win. I'll say an overtime win. Definitely a win against St. Louis, and Dallas is a premier team on the second half of a back-to-back. Maybe that's I say 1-1-1, or I'm sorry, 2-0-1 again because they're winning in overtime. My apologies.
I'm gonna say, for some reason they always play McDavid kind of tough, don't they?
Early in the season, yes, and it is early in the season, which is why I'm saying overtime win. Probably a shootout. Probably a shootout win. I can't believe how confident I am in the shootout now. I mean, when's the last time? Actually, the answer is never. You were confident in the Flyers in the shootout. I mean, this is the only year. Has to be.
I think I might go regulation win tomorrow night. But you know what? The 3 nights off might be something that hurts them kind of thing.
True.
Whereas Edmonton's kind of every other night right now. But I'm going to take the Flyers in regulation.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. It doesn't matter because they're a Western Conference team, but win's a win. But that would be nice. Just come out and just win the game. They are home. So, yeah, that would be great. But they definitely need to be.
It doesnn't matter because they're a Western Conference team?
If they win in a regulation or in overtime.
Oh.
If they lose?
2 points,
they can afford the L. No, I would never say that. And then, I expect them to beat the Blues. The Blues have been terrible, although they did lose to Calgary, but we'll see what team we get. It's fun. Sometimes, Tocchet said even about Saturday, I need to get this team up. I need to get them going faster. And that has been an issue in the past. I don't know if that's a coincidence. I don't know what the deal is with that. But if guys like Zegras keep playing the way they're playing, if Konechny starts playing the way we're used to, I understand the points are there, but you know what I mean. Villar keeps up what he's doing, and maybe Michkov's got 2 goals in 2 games, his last 2 games now. If he can start to slowly come back, things can really rev up. Power play, the penalty kill penalty kill's been great. Power plays look better. I mean, yeah, they can get on a little bit of a roll here. That'd be nice. I don't think the following week is too kind to them, because they got Tampa, Florida. I'm sorry, nope, that's 2 weeks from now. They have another big break. They play Edmonton, and they got back-to-back against St. Louis and Dallas, and they have 4 days off before they come home and play St. Louis again. Jeez, can't stay.
You know who likes to play the Edmonton Oilers, Jack?
Brandon Manning.
Yeah, him too. Number 39. In the orange and black.
Well, that's what I like to hear.
Matvei Michkov. I think he had 3 goals against them last year in 2 games.
Really? Damn.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think if I recall, do you remember who his first goal was scored against? I thought it was the Oilers on the ESPN game.
Ooh,
I thought. Yeah, I will say that somebody can hear. I'll put you on the spot.
Last year they played the Wild pretty early, and he scored in that game. But I think he had scored before that. It might have been Edmonton. I don't know. I was at that Wild game. That was a 7-5 win. That was a great game.
Yeah,
and that was October. So I'm thinking before that. Jeez, hey, maybe we got the power of the internet at our fingertips.
I'm gonna say Michkov gets 2 goals tomorrow night, and all this Coots Michkov stuff gets put to bed.
Oh, you were right. First goal, October 15th, 2024, against the Edmonton Oilers during the power play at the 4:46 of the first period. The goal was initially unconfirmed by officials, but was later confirmed after a video review. The same game, he scored a second power play goal, making it his first career multi-goal game as well. So yeah, mark me down for 2 goals tomorrow night.
Yeah,
I like that.
And then I think he had a goal and an assist in the game where they played in Philly, because I remember giving it to the Edmonton guy that was sitting next to me. So yeah, Michkov loves playing you guys, and for whatever reason, he didn't. I was joking, he didn't laugh.
Well, Edmonton's been through.
What are you gonna do? You Canadians up there, you always take everything so serious. You take your hockey so serious up there.
Their beady little eyes and their flapping heads.
Okay, so yeah, big game against Edmonton. 2 points. Michkov, 2 goals. Maybe his first career Hattie. 2 assists from Coots.
And you know what? And throw in a Michigan. Throw in a Michigan while you're at it.
I mean, Edmonton would be the team to do it against. 61 goals against already, a -9.
Did you see that in practice? He attempted it and smacked Vladar in the side of the helmet.
Yeah, and people were jumping on the beats for even tweeting it. God forbid. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. If we didn't have to be on Twitter for the podcast, I would delete it. Like, Jesus Christ. Sometimes it irked me to my core. Like, so, my God.
I saw something with Martinez and one of these other guys who I actually have muted. they were going back and forth, and I think Martinez took issue with something the one guy said about Jordan Hall, who one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. And to call him any kind of name for reporting something that he saw, doing his job, is such an asinine thing to do, man.
People are just brain dead stupid. Hey,
Vladar stopped it with his face. He wanted to do that.
Oh, my God. Oh, Zach, thank you. That's why I said Brandon Manning when Jim answered. If you remember that, prevented McDavid from winning the Calder Trophy that year. But yeah, it came out, and I think he called him a baboon or something. And it's just Martinez took issue, and Martinez is like everybody's favorite guy. And I was hoping they went live. They were threatening going live about that, and apparently took care of it privately, which is like boo-hoo. And he probably felt bad for him. You know, some people just need to get out of their mother's basement and touch grass. It just is what it is.
That's all it is, man. All right. So we talked about Edmonton. Next two games there, we said they have St. Louis. Should be a W. They're playing so bad. I'm glad I was able to move out Joel Hofer in our fantasy league this year before the year started. Because, man, it is bad out there. No matter who they're starting, between Bennington and Hofer, they're both getting lit up. And in Dallas on Saturday, who, if I recall, it seems like every time they go out, every time they have a road game in Dallas, it's just an automatic L. So especially coming off a back-to-back against St. Louis. St. Louis has to be the automatic 2 points.
Yeah, that's the other reason why I was like, they have to beat St. Louis.
Yeah, maybe they find a way to get the overtime with Dallas, but I see that as a loss for sure. Probably regulation. And maybe like a disappointing loss because you're looking at 4 days off after. So maybe like a 4-1, 5-1 loss where 4 days of chaos follow.
Yeah, I want to see some energy against Edmonton. You had some time off. You can't be dogging it. You did that on Saturday, and you came away with a point, but you probably should have came away with two. You got to come out strong against Edmonton. They got players on their team that if it's close, they can beat you with just a play. So you have to. So I expect at least a point out of that game, hoping for two. Definitely have to beat St. Louis. And then, you know what? If they do that, whatever happens in Dallas happens, because Dallas, they're a top 6 team in the league. Like, you know, it is what it is.
Let me see. They might be. They should be. Miro Heiskanen's having a good.
You want to address this, Tim?
Yeah, one sec. Yeah, you're right. Top 6. Yep. Okay, let's see. Can't believe Flyers fans defend the guy who came in out of shape. I hope you guys know that is not normal. That doesn't happen. Habs type beat. Nah, I mean, there's nothing to say.
Here they are. There's the Montreal guys. Demidov, and Reinbacher. You made the right pick. You definitely made the right pick. He's not a 19-year-old who's got a ton in his bank account. Not human beings we're dealing with here.
Well, so let me ask a question to Habs beat real quick. And you know, we appreciate you hanging out in the chat. Just keep it respectful, which you seem to be. You know, it's all in good fun.
Sure.
If Lane Hudson won the award last year because he's a defenseman, even though he had, you know, 3/4 of his assists were secondary, so you could be sitting there holding his dick while the guy setting up the goal is doing the actual work, right? He still won Calder because he scored 60 points as a defenseman. If this year it's between Matthew Schaefer and Ivan Demidov, the award goes to Schaefer, right? Yeah, automatically because he's the defenseman. That's how it works. And Schaefer actually deserves it more than Lane Hudson would even deserve it.
You'd think.
So I'm just curious. And this would be a little test of your integrity here. Because if you could say Schaefer, then okay, you're a respectable guy. If you go Demidov just because he's your guy, anything that you say is just, you know, you can't take it seriously.
Already backing out.
Here we go.
Excuses. Here we go.
Check Matthew Schaefer's secondary assists.
Here we go. Boo, boo, hoo. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Nah, I love Habs.
There goes that integrity right down the drain.
I love Habs fans. I love the city. I'm glad you're hanging out. Hopefully we see you in here more often. Let me see when's the next time Flyers Habs play, because that could be fun.
How the last?
I'm sure you already got it circled on your calendar.
How'd the last outing go?
Let me see here. Habs Flyers, man. So they play in Montreal again on December 16th. That should be fun. Hopefully we see you in here on December 17th, that Wednesday, When do you guys come to Philly? Doesn't look like for the entire season.
Wait,
Holy
it's
shit.
listed here. Is it? Oh no, that's in Montreal, December 16th.
Yeah, Montreal.
Mm.
I
All
don't
right,
think
explicit.
did we play
Look at
Montreal at home already?
Yeah, we beat them in was it a shootout or it was in a
But that was at Montreal, right?
yeah.
Oh, we
It
played
was
them
in
last game of the year at home. Holy
yeah,
shit.
that was in Montreal. Yeah.
So we don't see them in Philly until April 14th. That's crazy. We only play Montreal 3 times. Why do they think it was 4?
Shame. What a shame. I think that's only division guys will play 4, or is it? I forget. Maybe it's 4 or 6. It's all different now. Who the hell knows?
I like Dan's comment.
I highlighted it for a reason.
But, let me see if while we're on, I can find the stats for Schaefer real quick.
The fans are one thing, but the team itself, I really like what Montreal is doing. Like, you know how I feel about Caulfield, obviously.
They did things the right way. Yeah.
They definitely, yeah. I mean, except for drafting Michkov. But other than that, they've been really not doing great. And I really like their team. The offense is very exciting. And I think they're a very good team. Their fans are just goofy. That's all.
I love them. I don't like them, but I love them.
Good content.
Right, how can I find?
Hang on, about as smart as Anaheim fans.
Anaheim, wow. How about that team?
Yeah, I'm sure their 6 fans are really losing their minds.
I'm curious, if they kept it's crazy what the difference a coach can do, huh?
Well, you got a Tortorella-esque coach out there with 0 winning background. I don't even know where he came from. Like, their lives sucked under him. They should have honestly hung on to Zegras with the new coach, and then and then seeing what happened, because he did everything they asked of him when he tried to improve his defense and whatnot. Like, he was being a good soldier, So it's a shame. Look, don't get me wrong. They need a 4th line, and Poehling is a good 4th line guy. But you probably could have got a lot more value back than what you did. And you see what Zegras is. You got to be honest. Who's the Flyers' best player right now this season? There's 2 guys that come to mind for me.
Okay.
Both of them didn't play here last year. Right now, it is Vladar and it is Zegras. I make an argument and say right now who's a better player in these. How many games have we played? 16 or something?
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know who's been better than those 2, honestly.
All right, hang on. Here we go. We got
maybe like a Brink or a Cates or something, but I still think that the other 2 have been better.
Assists for Matthew Schaefer this year. I don't know if the Habs guy's still in here or not anyway.
Don't look like it.
All right, he's got 12 points this year, 3 primary assists to 4 secondary assists. Okay, so it's more than half of his assists. Quick, Jack. 1 second.
Well, I thought they mostly get secondary assists.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the majority, I guess. It's still early, so I'll give him that. But let's go to Lane Hudson very quickly. Oh, my God, he comes up right away. 34 of 59 assists secondary, so more than half.
More than half.
So I guess Schaefer wins.
Hands down. Well, Schaefer is not a Canadian player playing for a Canadian team. I mean, that.
Hey, is he American?
I'm sorry.
He doesn't play for the.
I meant play for a Canadian team, the Canadian team. Really, I mean that versus a Russian. There's a reason he wasn't even in the top 3. How's Dustin Wolf been this year, by the way?
Yeah, I would know because I have him on one of my teams. Not great.
I'm just saying, then again, Michkov hasn't been all that good either right now, but I think I can see him coming out of that slump. But yeah, I mean, he should have at the very least been nominated, for Christ's sake. Macklin Celebrini, on the other hand, looks great. Great.
Yeah, I love Celebrini. Yeah, okay. So Demidov, 13 points, 8 primary assists. But still.
Look, this is how much I like the Canadians. I bet on my ESPN bet app that Demidov will win, and he was the favorite. And I look back at it now, I'm like, maybe should have taken Schaefer for the odds, but I took him to win Rookie of the Year. I know how good he is. It was a great pick for Montreal. Montreal, team management-wise, has been doing a phenomenal job outside of one pick. They're going to be dangerous, absolutely dangerous. If they can figure out goaltending too, I think goaltending needs some work. But they got a lot of key pieces up there that look really good.
Yeah, they're a fun team. Shame
And
the
they
Flyers beat them though.
and they they hate us. So there's going to be those matchups, and God forbid a playoff matchup with them, which there have been in the past, are going to be fun.
You want to see something crazy that I found when everyone was flipping out about the Flyers shots on goal totals. Why can't I say totals? There we
Totals.
go. Hang on. I'm going to bring the screen up. Let me just get to NHL.com real quick. That's when everyone was going crazy about the shots on goal. Where the hell is it?
Was it like Tockett's previous teams?
Shots per game played. No, it was this year. Hang on, because I'm there.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Share screen.
Here we go. Hold on, Jim. He's back.
All right. We already talked about that. You're late, bro. You're late. We already addressed you guys.
Yeah.
You're late, dog. We moved on. We're talking about this.
Yeah, we have explained.
If the Flyers are last in average shots per game, look who's directly above them with 0.1 shots more per game.
That's shocking.
Do you hear Canadiens fans bitching about how many shots on goal they're getting per game?
Never.
I mean, they're allowing 3 more than they're taking, but they're 10-3-2. And all you hear is they're going to win the Stanley Cup, the Calder, the Hart, the Rocket Richard. Suzuki's going to win a Selke. They ain't bitching about shots on goal. Only Flyers fans do that shit, man. Bothers the hell out of me.
Well, I mean, the only thing is Montreal is like scoring at a crazy rate. I want to ask Habs a question here. I'm genuine. If he's still there, I'm genuinely curious about this. I've asked this before, but I got all Flyers fans here. When Fletcher traded back and still didn't take Caulfield, took York instead, and then Montreal immediately takes Caulfield. Flyers fans across the board went after our own front office. We went after Fletcher. When Montreal does not take Michkov and Philly does, why do you come after the fans? I mean, I assure you, we didn't start with you. I guarantee you did not start with. And there were Montreal fans at the time when they took Caulfield and said, "Thanks, Philly. Appreciate that, Philly." Like all that took place. If you're going to say that we did that, I'm sure there was somebody who did that. But like, why wouldn't you go after your own management? Why start with us? And who wants to start with Philly to begin with? But like, why? I don't understand that. You guys screwed up. We didn't have nothing to do with it. So, and instead it's let's attack Michkov himself and that goofy writer you have up there, the former scout, Grant A-hole for one another, who literally wished for Michkov to have a horrible career. Like crap like that. Like, what is that? Like, that is so disingenuous. I'm confused. I don't understand why that was who you targeted, where your crosshairs went. We'll attack Philly fans. Like, no, when our guys screwed up, in our opinion at the time, we went after that guy. We didn't go after you guys for doing the right thing. Like, you took Reinbacher, and that was the wrong move. You should have taken Michkov. So the idea of Michkov and Demidov and Caulfield and Suzuki together and Lane Hudson is wow. Like, so why wouldn't you go after your own front office? Why go after us? Why trying to make it seem like Michkov isn't as good as he is? Baffling to me. I would love to see that answer. Baffling to me. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, Carey Price didn't even remember the guy's name.
He was so shocked it wasn't Michkov. He's like, Matt, that's not what this says.
Who
the fuck is this guy?
Michkov was like, and is this right?
Yeah, Met. I can't believe they. I can't. That's why I retired. I can't believe this. Yeah, exactly. But it's our fault. It's our fault.
I mean,
hold on. I got it. Come on, Jim. You don't want to hear it, but I don't think we screwed up. We didn't take Michkov knowing he was in insane town because of. Where are these character issues? This has been disproven already. He's been fine. There are 0 issues with Michkov's character. He comes out after he has a 63-point season and says, I should have done better. I should have scored more. Like, because he's an offensive guy. He has character issues because he cheats offensively. So are the most talented players in the league. He's 20 years old. Like, come on. Character issues, my ass. Like, give me a break. Oh, my God. It's such. You are drinking the Kool-Aid out there, man. Big time. There were 0 character issues. 0. Bullshit.
He said, you don't want to hear it. Like I said,
Sure.
All right.
Whatever you say.
We are coming up to an hour into the show, which means it's almost time to wrap up. I don't think we missed anything. Flyers went 2-1 last week. We talked about Couturier, Michkov, and his character issues. Just kidding. We looked ahead. Flyers Twitter is a cesspool. It was a normal week.
Insane. Not just characters, just insane character issues.
No, just a regular old normal week on Flyers Twitter and life of a Flyers fan. A nice 4-1 win would be nice tomorrow night to, kind of move on from all the BS. Michkov 2 goals, maybe an assist thrown in there. Who knows? No, I mean, there's regurgitated trade. You know what we didn't talk about, Jack?
Ooh, I know what you're going to say. Go, hit me.
You know how 2 weeks ago when I was like, I just got to sign Zegras now because he's only going to keep scoring, and he's cooled off a little bit. But there's been, I don't know, two separate high-profile media members come out and say Flyers might want to start thinking about an extension, or the Flyers are trying to get Zegras signed, yada, yada. And I think I said right before Halloween, I would not be shocked if something gets done within the next 2 weeks. I think I gave it to November 14th, which I don't know if it's going to be done.
The 11th?
2 days.
Well, hey, Elliot Friedman's reporting it, so it's pretty damn close.
Yeah, so it's getting out there, and that's good stuff.
What's a good number for you? You have anything you're batting around?
Well, let me just make sure. What's he making now? Like 6.5? Is that right?
It's I think I confuse his and Drysdale sometimes. I think it's 5 point something.
I would want to get him done now. If they could get him for 7.5, that'd be amazing. 8 or less for 5-6 years.
5.75 right now.
Yeah. So he's playing at a point per game pace. If you can get it at 7.5, but like, why would he do that kind of thing? If it's not the number that he wants, if he's playing this well, he could bet on himself. Or does he like it here that much? He's playing with his buddies, Drysdale, York, whoever else. Maybe he says, $2 million is a lot of money. I'm happy. I'll take it. What do you think?
I think as long as it doesn't start with a 9, I'm in. It should be 8 years. He's 24 years old, like explicit says here. 8 for 8 would be great. And it's one of those things. It's like, that's a lot of money. And yeah, it is. But like, the cap is going up tremendously. You're seeing with a lot of these younger players with less in their record are signing for, I think, like Luke Hughes. I think of guys like that. And I'm like, dude, he's got 2 60-point seasons under his belt. They had a horrific coach there, and he dealt with injuries. And after he scored those 2 60-point seasons, Verbeek held him and Drysdale up. Like, did not want to pay them for whatever reason. Same with McTavish. McTavish like just signed like before the season started. They play serious hardball out there. There's bad blood out there, and you have a horrible coach. You have injuries, and he still did everything they asked of him. And he comes here and he immediately, it didn't take him any time. He immediately is looking like that guy. Where else are you going to spend your money? In free agency? Because that dried up pretty fast. So as long as we're not talking $9, $10, $11 million, which it could be if you wait the whole season and he finishes with 90 something points, I think isn't he on like, I think he's on par for something like that. And his power play points are on par to be like in the 40s. It's just his power play. Like those are Kucherov numbers for the power play. The power play who was dead last. Like, I think, look, I know it's early, but this is where you can get a real bargain. What's the worst case scenario here? You think he's going to be going back to being horrible? No, I think at most he might be injury prone at times, but he's looked okay to me. And if I'm him and I get a decent deal, it's like, look, I'm capable, but if I get injured, instead of getting like $9-10 million, I'm only get another 5 or 6. So maybe I'll take this. Maybe they both meet in the middle. You get the max years. And I think this is the last year you can offer 8 years. I think the new rules starting next year, the max is 7. So maybe he wants the 8 years. Maybe he wants 8, probably more than 8. I would think. I think whatever we think, it's always a little bit more. So I'm thinking 8, 9-ish. I'm okay with that, honestly. If it's like 9.75, that's a lot. But like 8.8, I'd do that tomorrow. I would. What you said, if 7 something, oh my God, it'd be great. It'd be phenomenal.
Yeah. That'd be why I'd want to get him done now. Like if they wait, then I think, all right, 8 and 9. But I'm like, dude, get it done before he has time to think. Like, just
Zach,
do it now.
Zach, you know that Elliot Friedman reported that they're happy, he's happy, and they're currently talking. I'm just saying that came from Elliot Friedman. Just
Now, I think they asked him about that. Yeah. So
no,
he knows. He knows the situation that he's in, right? Like playing point per game. If he keeps this up, he's going to be worth more than 7.5.
Right.
We're looking north of 8. So of course the Flyers they should want to do it now. But if Zegras is smart, he's got the ideal situation. Pinch the Flyers for a little bit of money. See, the reason why I didn't say 8 was because he is 24 and he's going to need that second contract. I don't know.
Unless he gets the number he's happy with.
Of course.
Remember how happy he is. He's got both of his buddies here. And the fans have embraced him. Like, not quite like Harper or anything, but still. Like, we're all big Zegras fans. We all love what he brings to the table. When he scores in a penalty or a shootout, rather, like, he's got to love it here. He's an East Coast kid. He's got Drysdale. He's got York signed long-term-ish. Like, I mean, there's a lot to like, not contract-wise. There's some issue. There's some. I have injury issues. I have not consistently scored at a high pace. Maybe I'm willing to take a little bit less than I think I could ultimately be worth if it makes sense. And I know I'll be happy regardless. It could happen. And it makes sense why they're talking now.
Yep. I'm glad they listened to the show.
Yeah. And not Habs type beat. I'm killing this guy. I appreciate him coming in. He was respectful. If anything, I was a little over the edge. His first comment came in pretty hot. And that's what got me a little bit here. But I got to give him credit. He kept it respectful. So I just hopefully disagree with that. It's like, you don't want to hear it. And then you say the most negative thing ever. Like, come on. Like, you made the wrong pick. Just admit it. Just admit it. The rest of your team's great. It's great. Not to get off topic or anything.
I was going to say, maybe Jack versus the Habs, a new show.
I wish that comment was pushed up a little bit further because I was sitting there reading it. Like, I reread, I don't want to hear it. Like I said, I'm like, well, you don't want to hear it. And I can say whatever I want after that. But no, he was very respectful. So I got to be honest. It is what it is. Just unfortunately, I just respectfully disagree.
All right, boys and girls, we are coming to the end of the show here. Any last words? Feel free to get them in. If not, we will wrap up. We will have what do we have coming up, Jack? We have Phantom's prospect update coming out tomorrow morning. We have the NCAA prospect update came out. What's today? Tuesday. It came out yesterday afternoon. If you haven't checked that out already, make sure you go check it out. And if you feel like you still didn't get enough of the Couturier Michkov conversation, you can head back to our latest live video and check that out. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Even if you tuned in as a Montreal fan or a Habs fan, thanks for hanging out. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe. Help us on our quest for 2,000 YouTube subscribers and our episode goal of 50 likes. If you haven't yet, make sure you give us a like. Help us on our goal of 50. What do you got, Jack? Go ahead.
I got the read.
There you go.
So, Jim, whenever you are ready.
Go ahead. I have to get to the page, so go ahead and start.
All right. I will start. All right, guys, quick timeout because if you're a diehard Philly fan, you need to hear about this. Fans of Philly is the ultimate way to hit the road with the Birds, the Flyers, the Phillies, or even the Sixers. We're talking full travel packages, your hotel, your transportation, and yes, the tailgates that are basically legendary at this point. All taken care of for you. No stress, no scrambling for tickets, no worrying about where you're staying. You just show up, throw on your jersey, and enjoy the ride with the fellow diehard Philly fans. So whether it's flying out to see the Eagles take over an opponent's arena, cheering on the Flyers in enemy territory, or making it a full weekend getaway for Phillies and Sixers games, Fans of Philly has it covered. Trust me, this is the closest you get to feeling like one of the players themselves as they roll into town, because the takeover is real. So check them out Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and start planning your Philly sports road trip today. Fans of Philly, that's phfansofphilly.com, where every away game feels like a home game.
All right. Good thinking getting that in. We almost didn't get paid this month.
Almost. You gotta pay. Oh, wait, whoa.
You gotta do another show with this guy.
We got a last word. From the respectable Habs type beat. Last word. I believe Michkov will mature and be great, but you can't say the maturity issues aren't real a month after he comes in out of shape.
What do you say that's wrong? He's right, unfortunately.
He was out of shape. I'll say that's what I'll say. He was out of shape. The young player out of shape. You got me there.
Can we end the episode?
Did Reinbacher come in out of shape? Oh, he didn't make the team yet. All right, now he's the defenseman. I know. I'm sorry. All right. So until Michkov gets his game back on track and shows up next year in shape, Habs type beat has one over us there. But I would not call that insane character issues, for God's sake. Come on.
Okay. All right. Leave us a comment. YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Set alerts so you're first to know when we drop a new show. For all of our latest episodes, head on over to our YouTube page. You can follow us on Twitter at HWX. Our YouTube's at HWHockeyYT. For Jack, I'm Jim. Don't forget to keep it high, keep it wide. We'll catch you next time on HW Hockey. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching HW Hockey. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.